What does financial freedom mean to you? Anybody? What does it mean to you? Wealth is a mindset. All right, now let me know how serious you are about financial freedom. How much money is financial freedom to you? How much money is financial freedom to you? Okay?
Whatever it will cost me to build systems that will generate money, the cost is what it will cost. The cost will be the price or the amount I'm looking at as what will be my financial freedom. Like if it's going to take me $1 million to build a system, and the systems are working well, then for me, $1 million is financial freedom.
Okay. Basically, the cost of putting up a system. Okay. Yes. I saw his hand first.
I think to me, if I have an asset, not ability. Asset was $1 billion.
$1 billion?
Yes.
That'll be fine.
An asset.
Okay. Okay, good. So there's a mic now. All right. So please help me continue the question. Someone is also here in front.
My name is Paul. I think how much is really relative depending on what you have.
That's what I said to you. What does it mean to you?
To me, $100 million is a kickoff.
It's just kickoff.
Yes. The kickoff to what I have, because that could be like somebody's site somewhere else. You understand? So for me, the $100 million could kick off from there.
Sorry, what's your name, sir? Paul. Please, when you hit that $100 million, we can meet. All right. Yes, sir.
From my own perspective of learning and from the perspective of life, I believe your science, your capacity to reach your value to the system also define how much money and rewards in life, especially if you are the type of person that is exorbitant person and that spirit. You know how much money it costs for you. So it is your assets, your value of assets in life, to which I call it your value, is what I see as significant here, because your personality platform defines your value, to which the money is important to you. I believe that's the way I see it as perspective to learn.
Okay. All right. Can we take one more person at the back there? Then I can proceed. One more person. Financial freedom. What is it to you?
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
My name is Untitled. To me, I don't really need a particular amount of money to have financial freedom. I think I need a continuous financial inflow. At any time I want to get anything, any project I want to embark on, there is money enough for me to embark on that project. And anything I want to do, anything the children, anything the family needs. I don't know how to wait a particular time for money to come in. Any time I need money, there should be money enough for me to do whatever I want to do. I think that is what financial freedom about. What it means to me.
What's the name, sir? Okay, so Mr. Barnabas to him is whenever I want to do anything, money must be there. Before the need arises, the supply must be waiting. Basically, to him, financial freedom is cash flow. A considerable amount of cash flow that caters for any expense and possibly excess will also be there. Can we just applaud ourselves, particularly to those who shared with us what their perception is? Now, you must know what financial freedom means to you, because what financial freedom is to me is not what financial freedom is to you. If you don't define it, you can't get it. If you don't know where you're going, you don't know when you get there. So it has to be clearly defined. You cannot pretend not to know that you need financial freedom. Neither can you pretend as if money doesn't have a role to play in the things that you want to do. Money is not the root of all evil. The love of it is the root of all evil. Okay? We need money not just to cater for ourselves, but also to give to them that have need. The world around us will become a better place if we all have money not just for ourselves, but also to help other people. Okay? So I'll just go straight right now and begin to just put us through, and I'd like us to follow through, and then I will engage us, and then we'll proceed from there. All right? Now, I started by asking that question because I wanted us to consciously begin to think and picture what financial freedom means to us. So when you get home, I'd like you to go and define it. Can the studio guys help me? If I need to use this, it has to be clean and clear. I'll need us to, go clearly define it, because if we say we want to crack the world code, which we can't crack everything today is just intro, right? One thing you must know is you need to know what it means to you, so you can know what you're going in for. Is that okay? Yeah, you have to know what it means to you. Now, when there is no vision, there's no progress. Maybe the easiest way to understand it is just look at countries that are running with a vision and countries that are not running with a vision. The difference is clear. I was sharing with my staff this morning about this country called Dubai. I mean, this location called Dubai is not a country, it's just one of the regions in the United Arab Emirates. Now, as at 1995, they got geologist reports that they will run out of their oil reserves by 2016. And since oil was what they depended on, they started to plan to say, okay, what can we begin to do to sustain ourselves as a country, since oil reserve is going to be exhausted by 2016. As a result of that, they started to plan the future of that country. Vision, say vision. Vision. And this was the plan. How can we make Dubai a playground for the rich? How can we get 15 million people to come in every month to spend nothing less than $1,000 every month? So 15 million people times $1,000, how much is that? What? 15 million times $1,000. 15 million. 15 billion. That's 15 billion, right? So the calculation is, if our reserves will be exhausted by 2016, we need to find a new means by which we're going to make money. So how can we make Dubai a playground for the rich? How can we get 15 million visitors from all over the world to come to Dubai and spend at least $1,000 every month? That is, they're expecting to have a revenue every month of $15 billion. And so they started to design Dubai. They started to turn the desert into the Garden of Eden. They started to build massive hotels. One of the iconic buildings they did then was the Burj Al Arab. Then they did the Khalifa, the tall building. Now they're doing another one that is taller than the Burj Khalifa. And like they planned and estimated, visitors visit that country and they spend money. And people like you, when you travel, I'm sure you spend more than $1,000. So just imagine the amount of money that country gets from visits. Say vision. I like how the Bible explains it. It says where there's no vision, the people perish. Not the leaders, the people. The people. That's why in a country, we can still see that people are suffering, not because there are no natural resources to give us leverage. After all, Nigeria has more oil reserves than Dubai has. But the difference between both is vision. Say vision. The difference between the rich and the poor is vision. The difference between success and failure is vision. Students who do well in school are the ones that say, this semester I want to make all A's. Vision. Then they begin to run towards it. Those that don't have vision, life like normal, life like normal. You can't keep doing the same thing and expect to get a different result. You have to change something to make progress. It takes adjustments to make advancements. You do adjust, they are the same. Your results won't change. Things have to change, but this is where it must begin. Be transformed by the renewing of your mind. Renew your mind, transform your life. Once you renew your mind, you can't transform your life. It begins from the mind. Say vision. That has to be clear. So where there's no vision, there's no progress. Vision precedes motion. We will only move as far as we can see. Just as I explained to you, you came here not by accident. Right? You're coming here, you first saw yourself here. When you were leaving your house, try to remember, you saw this place before you came here. Where you go when you leave this place, you have seen it in your mind. Your mind is already programmed. You will always make motion in the direction of where you've envisioned. Why don't you now envision financial freedom the same way? What do you see? If you see struggle, if you see lack, even though you don't like lack, you will experience lack. Because you will always gravitate in the direction of what you envision. These are laws that govern the world. Whether you know God or you don't know God, those are laws. It's like law of gravity. You don't need to know God, you don't know God. Gravity will work. You jump up, you fall down. Go to America and jump from 50-story building, gravity will take effect. Come to Nigeria, jump, gravity will take effect. Anywhere in the world, go to, jump, gravity will take effect. The same thing, these are laws that we must follow. Vision precedes motion. Your financial vision determines your financial future. That is, what your finances will be in the future will be dependent on what you are envisioning now. What are you seeing? This is where the problem is. The problem is that we usually allow circumstances, situation, bank accounts, pockets to begin to define your future, to define what you're thinking. No, what you're thinking is what you're creating. You will always create what you're thinking, knowingly or unknowingly. So you have to fix it there. You got this place with all diligence, because out of it determines what will happen to your life. Your life depends on it. Your money depends on it. Your future depends on it. What you're thinking is what will determine where your legs will be going to. You always make progress in the direction of what you're saying. Vision precedes motion. No vision, no motion. So you must have a clear picture of it. Your financial vision determines your financial future. Where there's no vision, the people around you suffer. Vision is a clear picture of your future. And if your mind has not pictured it, your hand cannot take it. You have to see it first. Say vision. But what does wealth mean to you? What does financial freedom mean to you? You've said your own, but next slide, let me share with you mine. What financial freedom means to me. And maybe that can resonate with us. And of course, maybe you can also see, can we go to the next slide? Maybe we can also see for the others. So financial freedom could mean, or wealth could mean, let's use the word wealth now, material things. It could mean lots of money. It could mean assets that yield cash flow. That's what my head Barnabas say, right? So there are assets that yield cash flow. So what asset is paying for children's school fees? What asset is replacing the car every 2 years? What asset is catering for utilities? What asset is responsible for changing wardrobe? What asset is responsible for charity? So you should have assets. Geese that lay golden eggs. This geese is responsible for laying the golden egg that will cater for house replacement, for charity or for something. What does it mean? Equity holdings, a piece of the pie. Either you create the pie, own the pie, and share the pie, or you buy a piece of the pie. In this case, a company. If you don't own the whole company, then have a piece of it. We call it shares, right? We call it shares. Just a second. Let me turn this off. All right, so start from where you are. If you wait till you have everything you need to start, you will never start. Start from where you are with what you have. If you're driving from here to Lekki at night, how many of you drive at night? Let me see. Raise your hand. You drive at night? Raise your hand. Hi. Hi. Okay. Oh, sorry. These are billionaires. You have drivers. Sorry. Now, for those of you who drive at night, when it's dark, and you're going from here to Lekki, and you start your engine, and then you turn on your headlamps, and because your headlamp is not touching Lekki, you say you're not moving. Does that make sense? As you move, your light moves. As you move, your light moves. Many people are waiting till they have everything before they start. Start from where you are with what you have. Your 1 step, 2 steps, 3 steps, momentum. Give yourself momentum. Don't wait till you have 1 million, for instance, before you start investing. Invest your 1,000 naira, 10,000 naira, 50,000 naira, 100,000 naira. But one thing remains. If you're supposed to invest a particular amount, 200,000 naira for 12 months, for say 25%, if you don't invest it, at the end of that 12 months, the question is whether you still have 100,000 naira or not, or whether you have 100,000 naira plus 25,000 naira, which is the interest on it. Or you put it in the bank, so the bank can help you to remove the 10 naira, 65 naira, 52 naira. And inflation will take effect because prices would have increased. Smart people know that cash is trash. Money makes no sense until you make it to work. The way to make it to work is to invest it. Either you use it to run something, to multiply it, or you invest it so that others can't go make it work. I can't be working and my money is sleeping. As I'm working, my money must work. Smart people know that cash is trash. Cash that is not trash is cash that is working. It has to work. As we move along, I will show us more details on that. Next is capacity to give. What does wealth mean? Wealth means capacity to give. If people need money right now and you're unable to give them, that's not wealth. Wealth is your ability to give. Children are asking you for school fees. You're not going for 25 days of prayer and fasting. You have the ability to give. People have needs. You have the ability to give. You hear that your neighbor's children are not going to school because of school fees. You have the power to give. That's wealth. What's wealth? Wealth is how many beneficiaries do you have? How many persons can say, I went to school? I mean, I'm a product of the giving of other people. The university I went to is a private university, as I shared. I went to Covenant University. That's where I graduated. My BSc, Covenant University. My MSc, Covenant University. My PhD, Covenant University. So I'm a product for my BSc. I mean, I'm a product of people giving to sort my school fees. So I know what being a beneficiary means, and I know what being a giver means, particularly if you are a product of the giving of other people. Wealth is being able to give to other people, whether you know them or you don't know them. The prayer they'll pray for you. Eh? There is this widow that I heard about. I mean, it was sometimes last month. I heard of this widow who, I didn't even know she was a widow, but someone just came and told me that there's this woman that the place where she stays is already due, but she wants to leave the place, but she has no money. She wants to go to someone. So why does she want to leave the place? She doesn't have money. Because when it rains, water will enter the house, the road, the street, everywhere, plus water, everything, it comes in there, that level. I mean, I don't know this one for madam, but I mean, I just, had the knowledge that, how much is this thing? Small money. I mean, to me, it was small money. To her, maybe it was big money. Because wealth is relative. Like I said, financial freedom to me might not be financial freedom to you. That's why I say, what's financial freedom to you? So I just, organized whatever. I told someone to go check, validated, and just, give to her. I just sorted out for 1 year. If you see the prayer this man prayed for me, the prayer that I myself, I won't pray for myself. Even the Bible says that he that gives to the poor lends to the Lord. True wealth is your ability to have a number of beneficiaries. People who can testify and give God glory because you live and you're alive. Those kind of people, they will pray, you cannot die. You cannot die. Yet you want to die too. They are looking for God to use you for the next die. No, you can't die. What is wealth? Number of projects. How many projects are going on in your life right now? Building projects, school projects, research projects. mega projects, big deals. Billionaires will think of projects. We want to be part of projects. How many projects are you running on right now? No matter how small. What is wealth? Quality of relationships. Your network defines your net worth. Who are those you surround yourself with? What is wealth? Comfort. I heard that a lot, from what I heard. Comfort is wealth. You are comfortable. I don't mean comfort of relax. I mean comfort that, no stress, no struggle. You say you want to go to US now. You just carry your bag. This 2020 lockdown, just every year I always travel. Every single year I must travel at least twice. But this 2020, this nonsense lockdown, I just did the whole program. Throughout that last year, I didn't get to travel outside the country. But my passports, then I still had my US visa, or when you have visas, you can just say, I want to go and spend my weekend in the US. Because you have visa, you have this thing, just wear a short knicker, wear your slippers with socks, carry a backpack, and take a walk to the airport. Get a ticket. Don't you like that kind of life? The lifestyle of a billionaire, you can wear anything and nobody begs. If you see billionaire doesn't wear tie. People are wearing tie saying yes, sir. One of my mentors was talking about a board meeting. So people came and they sat down. This is the chairman's seat. Other people sat down around. So the chairman didn't sit on the chairman's seat. He just came and he sat down on one of the side chairs. And he said, Mr. Chairman, sir, that's your chair. He said, how is that my chair? He said, because that's where you normally sit, the chairman's seat. He said, no, wherever the chairman sits is the chairman's seat. So if everybody go and sit down there, it's not the chairman. The chairman. You need to know who you are. It's not the seat that determines the chairman. The chairman determines the seat. Don't forget the law of cause and effect. What is wealth? True health. Because you can have all the money, but if your health eats that money, say not me. Yeah, you should enjoy your health. Now, another thing I want us to notice is this. As good as wealth is, because I've tried to paint a picture to us as to what wealth is. But how do we get this thing called wealth? Wealth takes responsibility. For instance, your wealth is your personal responsibility. Say my wealth is my personal responsibility. Yes, it's your personal responsibility. No one is responsible for you being wealthy. You are the one responsible. The best people can do is to give you opportunities, is to show you, is to teach you, is to show you the way. But you are the one absolutely responsible for your wealth status. Let me ask you a question. If you are going to make a phone call and you miss one number, will the call go? No. If you have $10 billion inside your bank account and you carry your ATM and you put inside the machine and you miss one number, will it give you your money? No. If you don't master these codes, you are keeping wealth far from you. So what are these codes? Wealth code numbers. Next slide. 9 of them. Like I said, subsequently from next week, we'll be taking them one by one. I'll be dealing with them. Okay? I'll just summarize them and I will conclude here. Then I'll allow you to ask your questions and then we'll move forward. The first is wealth vision. That has to be clear. What's your wealth vision? What is wealth to you? If you don't have it clear, there's nothing you're working towards. There must be something you're working towards. All those things you accomplish them because you set them and you started working towards them. If you don't have something you're working towards, you will never, ever run towards it. So the first is, what's your world vision? Next is mindset. If you like set world vision, if the mindset is not there, I told you, you won't get there. Your mind is what creates it. Your mind is what walks towards it. So you must build the wealth mindset. Next is wealth habits. There are habits, there are lifestyles that make it happen. Habits of saving, culture of investing, the ability to budget, control your expenses, track them. Next is creating wealth itself. That's wealth creation. Of course, you have to create it. What do you have that you can give in exchange for the wealth that you want? Next is wealth management. So when the wealth comes, how do you manage it? You put it in the bank. That's trash. The bank will deduct from it 52%, 65%, 10 naira, 2 naira, that naira. Inflation will also take effect. How do you manage the wealth? Next is wealth multiplication. How can you take the wealth that you built over time and put it in an asset like real estate and let it multiply at least 3 times within 18 months? Next is wealth channels. How many channels can you create towards your wealth tank? Can we put our phones on silent? How many pipes, how many wealth channels can we connect towards your wealth tank?
At the back, they're saying that you should slow down so that.
Oh, am I talking too fast?
Yes.
Oh, sorry, is the wealth that is driving me. I want you to have it so badly that I'm, So wealth channels, if you have a tank and you put just one pipe there, compared to when you have 2 pipes, 3 pipes, 4 pipes, 5 channels, which one will get the tank full fast? Well, the more the channels, the more the tank gets filled. So solar is not enough as one channel. Putting in stocks is not enough as one channel. Have as many channels. Do real estate. You can do stocks. You can do equities. And of course, the more the volume, the more the inflow. Wealth channels. Also wealth mentors. Who are the guys already where you desire to be? Who are the guys that are already where you desire to be? How do I connect with them? How do I learn from them? And finally, your wealth circle. Billionaires hang around with billionaires. Eagles flock with eagles, not with ducks. What's your wealth circle? So, like I said, we're not going to treat all this now. I just wanted to give you an idea of what each is. And then, from next week, we'll be taking each of them and we'll be cracking it. Say crack. We will crack it. I don't mean crack up. We'll be cracking it. We'll be cracking the nuts. We'll unveil it and we'll practice it. Alright? So, in conclusion, I want to ask you a few questions. How desperate are you to be wealthy? You don't need to answer me here, but I would like you to reflect on it. Because like I said, if you don't want it badly, you might not make the most towards it. And how much money do you want to make in this quarter? This quarter is July, August, September. And this week, July, will be over. So, how much money do you want to make this quarter? Let me give an instance. Which make me ask the next question is, have you done the maths to meet your target? Let me give an instance. We are doing Homify, for instance, now. And we are raising investments to build mega projects that we've planned and set that must be completed in a period of time. And then we are saying people will invest a specific amount, of which a unit is 50,000. So if one person invests 1 million for the next 18 months, the person gets 50% of the 1 million invested. That's how much. So by the end of 18 months, your 1 million has grown to 1.5 million. And for this team, the sales team, those who have been a part of the Pertinence family for years, one of the ways we want to reward you for raising such investments is that you get a commission of how many percent? 7% of every value created. So if, for instance, you get somebody to invest 1 million, you get how much? 70,000. Now, have you done the math to say, how much money am I making for myself? Have you set your own target for yourself? How much do you want to make? So say for instance, your target is I want 10 million naira. Or I want 7 million naira. How much investments do I need to raise through my referral link to get 7 million naira? How many? Can somebody help me? That's 100. That's 100 million. So if you get 2 people to invest 50 million through referral link, it means you have. But have you even set your target yet? Have you set something that you are working towards? Because vision precedes motion. Vision precedes motion. Set your vision. Have something to work towards. Set it, make it clear. Very soon I'm going to call Jeff now. He's going to come and tell us about some of those things. Vision precedes motion. I would like us to work together. So set it today, what you want to achieve, because I need to make sure that we are not wasting our time with this program we are going to, because this code, we will crack it. See, we go crack it. We go crack it. Because where we see this thing going to, many of you have been with us for years, and we want to be able to see like great things going on with each person. And I'm not just speaking this for myself, I'm speaking the minds of the founders of this company, in the person of Sunday Olorishi and Wisdom Ezekiel, of which a number of you here know them already, and you know their heart on this matter and what they think about every one of you here. So make that vision clear and begin to work towards it. We are doing that just for our realtors. Others are getting like 5%. So in case you are here and you're not on the system, please, no vexing. How many contacts have you made in terms of relationships? What's the volume of interactions that you have made, and how much chance are you willing to take on yourself to at least say, this quarter I want to make 7 million by raising 100 million naira investments for real estate? Let me at least prove to myself and take a chance to myself that I can do it. What's the worst that can happen? Is it no, I'm not doing it? Or my friend, carry yourself, carry your bag, come out for it. Like, what's the worst that can happen?
I'm not interested.
Did they shoot you? Did they take your name? Like, what's the worst that can happen? All the things that I've done with my life, that's the question I have to ask myself, to motivate myself to move. I've asked myself, what's the worst that can happen? Why can't I make that 7 million? Think of it. Why? Is there anything? It's not a simple math. I get 100 people to do 1 million each, or I get 2 people to do 50 million each, or I get 5 people to do 20 million each, or I get 10 people to do 10 million each. Just do your maths. I'm using that as an example for easy calculation. Have your own set goals. Your own can be 5 million, your own can be 1 million, but have the target you're working towards. If not, your legs will move. I said vision precedes motion. So I want to challenge you, as we've done this introduction today. Next week, we're going to start with the first aspect of it. In fact, I think we'll just take at least maybe 2 of it. That's wealth vision and wealth mindset. And then we'll be taking it like that until we complete the whole series. But by the time it's over, I want to see people seeing money as, because they've gotten it. Say, I've gotten it. That's the spirit.